Hey everybody, it is Gary with Shatterproof the Auto Glass Podcast and the Independent Glass Association. We have been here all week, and boy, I can't tell you how many steps each day. Converted to steps, it was actually about 10 miles per day, average 20 to 22 flights of stairs per day. Um, just crazy. Lots of things here at SEMA 2025 and AAPEX. And if you don't know a lot about what SEMA is, it is the specialty aftermarket for anything automotive. So you're going to see obviously auto glass tinting. You've got just about everything that has to do with PDR and collision repair and tires and you name it. It's all here. It is the aftermarket of everything that we deal with when we touch a car. And it's been great. There's a lot more glass exhibitors here this year for automotive, but at the same time, there's been a lot of great educational tracks. We'll catch you up on what some of those are. The lead in there, kind of funny. There were more bulletproof automotive glass vendors than in the past. They all had their little tricks there. As you could see, that guy had a hollow aluminum baseball bat. It was kind of comical watching him for about 15 minutes just bang up on that demo glass that he had there. Obviously, nothing was going to happen to it, but it made a real impressive sound when that bat just went ting and off you went. So let's dive right into our first kind of bringing this up is yes, there is a lot of armored or bulletproof glass vendors here. A lot of them had their glass labeled of what their glass could take as far as rounds go, and that was impressive. Most of them really were here just to let vendors know that they specialize in it. Some of them sell it, some of them don't, some of them will hire it out. But if you are in the market for that, we will have a list up on our social media page of who those vendors exactly are, so that if you ever come across that and you want to handle armored glass, bulletproof glass, or protective glass, you can check those vendors out. Definitely. Getting around the show, some notables. AirPro was there. AirPro actually was in the SEMA South Hall, and they also had a setup in what's called Joe's Garage. Joe's Garage is over at Apex, and the real cool part about Joe's Garage is you actually get that feeling of what the setup you would purchase would feel like in your shop. And what was also pretty cool this year too is they had the calibration vendors in one area lined up. So you could actually visually look and say, well, what's this setup look like versus that setup? What are their targets look like? What are their target stands look like? What is their process? And you could go through and watch. They provided demos. They had scheduled demos. It was really cool. So we got to see everything that each one of these calibration suppliers have. And I could tell you, I know a lot of you are out there that are still grasping on to this paper or that fiberboard target. But I could tell you it is going away. More of these suppliers of ADAS calibration equipment now are going to what's called e-paper or e-ink. So it's not very different than what originated with their Augie product in the market. So expect targeting system in the near future. Some of you with the legacy see that, and probably off in 2026, definitely by 27. Moving right to let's see, the Guys Glass. They have a new line of products and tools. Definitely check them out. Site and the links is down there. If you haven't heard of GT Tools, definitely check them out. And also too, speaking of tools, we also ran into Aegis and Aegis Tools and their repair system and everything. They're happy to be here. I know everybody is exhausted from and some things that kind of also came up during it of the educational series. And the first day, I participated on behalf of the Independent Glass Association with the CIC. So that's the industry conference. And they had a great speaker and a sit down where they were talking about invoking the appraisal clause. And I know that's something that the IGA covered back, I believe, in 2012. We still have that video up on our IGA page. So please go check that out if you want to catch up on what invoking the appraisal means to you and your insurance work when it comes to your fair billing practices. That's something that is part of our efforts in providing to the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission on our ongoing endeavors against the insurers and TPAs out there. And this is something that's important because some states actually have had that written off of law where your state, you're not entitled to invoke the appraisal clause. Some states now are putting that back on the books. And we'll have a recap next week of what all of this is and what it's about. But definitely, if you have that opportunity to go back and watch that video, go check out the Independent Glass Association YouTube page. We also had some other great ones, again, starting calibration in your business or increasing calibration and calibration profits. And a big part of that too comes down to the marketing, your sales, and also expanding your business to incorporate the purchasing of more calibration equipment, looking beyond forward-facing camera calibration, which most of you do in the auto glass industry. That's the tool you've bought. If you buy complete calibration setups, you're going to be able to assist dealerships and collision repair shops and others for their overflow work. So it's something that we will also be talking about here in the near future as part of our educational series for shop management and shop sales. At the same time, as we walked around the show, there are so many opportunities that as slow season approaches, a lot of auto glass shops are like, oh, what do we do? And there are tons of things that if you have brick and mortar or you have a smart mobile setup where you can work safely and comfortably in a controlled environment, which we're talking about, some heating here and away from the elements, so there are some products on the market now for that we will also be bringing up and showing in the upcoming weeks that we saw here that allow you to increase your sales during the winter months and forecasting for that and how you should be doing it. And then also too, I know we're just now getting into late fall, we'll be getting into winter, but we should start looking at spring as well, the products that you want to make sure that you add to that because you're not just doing auto glass. You have this vehicle where you have that opportunity to upsell and charge. And I know many of you that are out there going, well, I'm just a solo operation or I have a few employees and one CSR. Don't worry, we're going to help you out with that. We're going to show you how you can increase your sales with other things. So that way, when auto glass sales dip, you can then get into the calibration and get into some of these third-party aftermarket products for the same vehicles and same customers you probably already serve. Also too, some exciting things for like fleet, for like Rivian and those types of things. We're going to be discussing that in the next coming weeks as well. There's a lot of exciting opportunities coming for that. And we're going to have a special podcast next Friday that talks about the next 10 years in automotive glass. Now, some of it's doom and gloom, some of it's exciting. And again, it's all how you're going to position your business. And no, it's not AI. However, the AI placement for the automotive aftermarket, including auto glass shops, it is coming to you very fast. And that means that the tools you use for booking, for invoicing, for managing your shop, managing your sales, you're going to be using a primarily AI-based product in the next 12 to 18 months. There's no doubt about it. I know this week, Edirect Glass made their announcement on Tuesday that they have a brand new AI sales system that's out. That information is on the IGA social media page here on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook. If not, go on over to the IGA page there and see that. They also have their link up in the press release on Tuesday. But that is another example of how the sales tools now take the responsibility away from the CSR. Insurers can directly book the job. Everything happens. The insurance, all of that stuff. It's really cool. And the same thing's coming to like scheduling and all of that stuff. So buckle up, that is coming. But the big change that will be coming in the next 10 years that we're going to sit down and have a discussion with a panel is how robotics will be changing your glass business in the next 10 years. And in fact, I have put it out there at this point that by the year 2035, in November, the same time frame, you're going to see a large amount of complete automotive glass jobs, whether it be it side glass, windshield, sunroofs, whatever, all will be handled by robotics. If you start to look at the tools that are available now, like by Panther Pro and Equalizer, those are just on the precipice of being automated. And as these tools progress and as technology progresses, you're going to see those things like by Equalizer and Panther Pro and whatnot all go fully automated. That also includes like removals of glass, things of that nature. It will be going robotics. Now, a lot of people might be like, oh, my job, I'm a technician, what's going to happen? Don't worry. We're going to talk about what the impact may look like, how we will need to change as an industry, how education is going to change, and at the same time, how the Independent Glass Association will be assisting in working with independent glass shops on these transitions, AI, robotics, et cetera. So a lot of exciting things to come. We are just happy to be packing up right now and getting out of here, crossing our fingers for this nasty air travel. We had some colleagues start to queue over at the Vegas airport this morning, and it was taking 3.5 hours to go through TSA. And we're very grateful for the federal workers that have been continuing to work without pay. It's a shame that this is happening, but at the same time, we got to have affordable healthcare, people, especially in our industry. A lot of you with the manual labor, the back issues, the muscle and whatnot, healthcare needs to be affordable. This is my soapbox. This is what I'm saying, but we do need to get these people paid and back to working so that we can travel, so that our goods can travel. And I'm wishing everybody who's leaving SEMA today good luck getting home. I hope to be sleeping in my bed tonight. Thank you for everybody too that showed up for our 7th annual meetup here at SEMA AAPEX. This was another great opportunity for auto glass people to get together, middle of the week, middle of the show, and discuss what they've seen, what their concerns are. Another great outing. Thanks to Shauna over at Kaizen Glass Solutions. Thanks to Mark O'Brien and his crew from Sika. Thank you to Nick with Autobolt. Thank you to Maria and her team with Eater Glass for helping put on this evening. It was great. It was a very unique venue, kind of like our bowling venue we had in Reno. This time it was putt-putt golf. Seems to me that we have this sports theme going on right now, but a lot of fun there. Also to Fred from Sika Fred. Thank you too for inviting the shops that you knew that were here. It was great to meet everybody, talk about how the different markets are working, what's not working, concerns for the future, fears, things of that nature. The biggest concern and fear that we heard all night is this volatility in our economy, because a lot of glass shops and businesses in general cannot plan out really for the next 2 years. We just don't know with the seesaw of tariffs and maybe this and maybe that. It really makes it hard to plan your profitability, your sales, when these things ebb and flow and change. And two, just not pricing, but the ability to get a hold of certain products, because even those manufacturers, distributors are in a tough spot because things are being held up. They're being held up for tariff ransoms, or they're being held up because some people don't want to ship product right away until they know what's happening. So we're still going to be feeling this for months and months and months to come, regardless of whatever the Supreme Court's decision is, and whatever else starts to happen. The wind blows and all of a sudden there's a threat of 175% tariff. We don't know, but it affects us. We will continue to stay on top of it and make sure everybody's informed. Other than that, thank you very much for those of you that support the Independent Glass Association for tuning in. Definitely next year, we will be putting out more about SEMA ahead of time. We really believe that this is a show that auto glass shops should come to. And for those of you that are going to be on the bubble, we've been getting a lot of feedback, and we just want to put it out there. We have nothing to do with Auto Glass Week. So when your complaints come to us about the days and the times and when they're being held, that's total. You need to go to autoglassweek.com. You can go talk to them. We realize that this is being put in the middle of your busy season, near the tail end there, but you do have alternatives to go to different shows. You can pick and choose the ones you want to go to. Definitely, I believe this is one you should put on your calendar next year, just for the purpose of also seeing other products that you can incorporate into your business. So with that, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned. Monday, we are back in the office. We are hitting it hard. We have a lot of catch up to do. Thank you for everyone's patience out there. I know we've got a lot of new members that signed up this week. We're doing our best to get credentials and your welcome videos up and everything. Also to the IGA University. There's some things also coming back up on that, some things that happened this week that are going to increase the value of the university for the industry. And yeah, so everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you and talk to you next week. Bye.